2.3, our I can statement is I can write two-step equations, and I can write equations needed to solve word problems. So we're going to take words and we're going to make it a problem out of them. Now, as much as it doesn't seem like it might be a hard thing, we're getting into two-step equations and two-step problems, so it might get a little more difficult than back in the day when we did 5 plus 6 equals 11. So first we have to do a few vocabulary of equation. An equation is a mathematical sentence with an equal sign. There are key words. Please stop talking. Do not care. There are key words that you should know. Words like and this will make more sense when we get into the problems. It's going to tell you where that operation goes. What are the 4 operations? Add, subtract, multiply, divide. Okay, the quantity of, you're going to see parentheses, times the sum, again, parentheses, and then the inside the parentheses is going to be a sum or plus, times the difference, a sum, or times the difference is going to be parentheses and a subtraction. Squared or cubed is going to be exponents. And then the word than. This is important, and kids just ignored me last period, and you still need to know it. So they got to their homework, and they were doing it all wrong. The word than will change the order. So I will again go through that in a second. Okay. Words that are like increase, adding. We need to know that when we have the sum, that means adding. Subtraction, what's the answer in subtraction? Difference. So the difference is going to be subtraction. Division, the quotient is the answer. And then multiplication, it's the product. And all these different words mean whichever they're in. So decrease, we're usually going to be subtracting. It's if you cut something in half, you're probably going to divide it. If you double something, you're going to usually use multiply. Things like separate or groups can be, depending on the actual word problem, could be both. Like if you have 5 groups of 6, how many total? Well, then you're going to multiply. If you have 30 kids and you want to put them all into 5 person groups, then you're going to be dividing. So you have to kind of read the problem. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to translate sentences into an equation. And the first thing I would like to do with these is under each word, write a number or an operation. Okay? So 13 is as a word 13. I'm going to write it as 13. Is going to be what?
Multiply.
No, is.
Minus.
No.
Addition.
Is going to be equal. 2. Go back and I'm going to, each word I'm going to translate into a number, okay? So 13 is going to be equal. 7 is already a 7. More than, usually we're going to see, more is adding, right? Okay, this is where I said the word than. The word than is going to switch the order. 1/5 is going to be 1/5 of a number. This is where if we see of a number, you can choose a variable. If it says of a number n, it means that it wants you to use that number n. But here it just says of a number, so we're going to use n for number. Okay, now we have to rewrite it. Remembering to switch the order of these 2 things. So it's going to be 13 is, then the 1/5 n is going to come first.
Can you just have 7 come first? Or does it change it?
No, because I have the word than, you can't have the 7 first. Because it means 7 more than 1/5 of a number. This is important in subtraction especially. Because subtraction, the order matters.
Came from a pencil.
Right behind you. Okay, the next one, 8. less. The word than switches the order. 3 times. I'm going to put the dot. Remember, I'm going to use my dot for times. A number, I'm going to just use n, is going to be equal and negative 23. So now I'm going to write my sentence. Huh?
Oh, they're still in top one.
Oh, okay. So you don't actually have to solve them. Just you. I'm just asking you to write them into an equation. 5. Yes.
You did it right.
Correct. All right. So because the order, this is where it really matters with that subtraction. This term here is going to come first. So 3n, because this means 3 times a number. So that multiplication, I'm just going to put them next to each other, and then the subtraction, and then 8 equals, and then negative 23. Again, this is all you need. Okay, 10 increased by the quotient. Whenever you see the quotient, you're going to it's going to be division, right? Well, with division, and it says by the quotient of a number and 6, the number, or whatever the first thing it says, is going to go on top, and then division bar, and 6 goes on the bottom. And then is the equal, and 5. So there's no changing the order, so I'm pretty much going to rewrite this. But now I'm not going to use plus and then divide, right? This division is the same as this division bar. So I'm going to do n divided by 6 equals 5. Still with me? The more problems we go through, the more sense it will make. Okay, 15 equals 3 more plus than. The word than is going to be switching the order. 6 times a number. So these two things have to switch ordered. So 15 equals 6 times n plus 3. Okay, so the next ones are when we talked, when I'm talking about times the sum and times the difference. This, you're going to have parentheses. So the difference between 12 and a number, that we're not going to use parentheses just yet. It's going to be the next 3, but let's just, yeah. All right, so the difference means what? Subtract. Okay, between 12 and. So when I see the word and, that's what I meant. Well, no, it's going to tell you where that operation goes. So the operation is difference, and that difference is going to go here, where that and is. So 12 and 2/3 of a number means multiply. So of a number, and then is 18. So the difference between 12, and whenever I'm talking about difference, whatever number comes first has to come first. Unless it was the word than, then I would be switching orders. Okay. So again, I'm going to go through where I'm just going to change every word that I can to a operation or a number. So 6 less, I see the word than, so that means it's going to change the order. The quantity of, what does the quantity of mean? I'm going to see parentheses. So parentheses of 8 times a number x. Sometimes they say use this and they actually tell you what letter they want you to use. So a number x just means, so times x is equal and 32. So now I need to write this into my sentence. So because it's than, I need to change the order of this and this. So 8x will come first, my subtraction sign, and then 6 is 32. So this is 6 less than 8 times a number is 32. Right? All right, 48 is, so that's equal, is the difference of. So difference means subtraction, right? And that operation is going to go wherever I see that and. Try and make it a little bigger. Um, 17, the cube of a number n. Again, they're specifying what letter they want you to use. So how do I cube a number?
Putting the box.
Yeah. So putting that 3 up above it. That's what you meant, right?
Yep.
Where do I get what? The 3 because it's cubed. So n to the third power is the same as n cubed. So here we are going to do 48 equals, so the difference of, so again I want to show parentheses. Oh, I forgot my parentheses down here. This should be in parentheses. Sorry about that. So the difference of 17 and a number cubed. Okay, and then the product of 5 multiply, and that's where that and the sum of, so sum means adding, the sum of 12, so that's where that one goes in there. This is a plus sign going into, and the number n is negative 15. So when I have a product and I'm multiplying by the sum of a number, I need parentheses. So the parentheses are going to be 12 and a number. So I'm going to do this one part first, and I'm multiplying it by 5. I don't really need to have that up, even to have it right next to it is okay. You don't need to show multiplication because this means multiply. You don't have to have the dot there. You can if you want. Okay, and then, okay, hint for word problems. Almost always it will equal a total. And if you have the words per and each, it's going to show multiplication, and it's going to actually be your coefficient, usually, of your variable. Okay, so it's going to be that number next to the variable. So your first example is a personal trainer buys a weight bench for $500 and W weights. Where they do something like this, that means that they want you to use W for the variable. And they buy weights for $24.99 each. So that word each, that means I'm probably going to have that $24.99 times or per each weight. I have to add the 500, and the total is $849.86. That 500 is my constant. It doesn't have a variable, so I'm going to get rid of that net first. So 500, subtract on both sides. Again, you can use a calculator to do these big numbers. This will go away. $24.99 W equals 300. And I'm trying to figure out how much each weight is costs. Or no. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Hold on. How many weights you purchased? Is that what you just said? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, isn't it? Oh no, and 86 cents. Sorry. I'm trying to do it quickly because. Haha. Yes. Sorry. You're right. I'm trying to do it quickly because I'm running out of time and then I'm messing up. All right. 24.99, and then W equals, and there are 14. And don't forget weights. Temperature is 54 degrees, expected to rise. Okay, so each hour, so you see that each, so it's going to be 2.5 times per hour, and the total at the end is going to be 84. So this is going to be your equation to set up.